Hello and welcome to my news video. Today I'm going to take a quick first look at Crypto Gladiator. Now, what is Crypto Gladiator? It seems to be a game from a Chinese developer, I think, if I look at these different language settings correctly, I guess, but maybe someone in the comments below can correct me on this one. Maybe it's also Japanese or maybe Korean, I'm not too sure. Welcome to Crypto Gladiator. As an employer, that's a weird translation, but yeah, again, those are not native speakers and neither am I, so I don't really blame them. Now, as an employer, you can dispatch your gladiators to participate in battles for earning high gas bonus, clone your team, then get their strong generations, or sell them to other players for earning gas when your teams are strong enough. Now, what's interesting about this game, I'm not quite sure. I'm going to watch the video soon. What the kind of game actually is? Is it like an RPG? Is it more like a multiplayer game that you use to fight against others, like a MOBA or something along those lines, or is it a completely different kind of game, like an RPG idle game? What's interesting about this one, it's running on the Neo blockchain, if I see that correctly. Neo's benchmark project, Crypto Gladiator, released its first video. So let me just click on this video so we can watch it together. Okay. That looks a little bit low budget, to be honest. Oh, maybe it has a decent lore, maybe it has some decent... Oh, look at these. Oh, that doesn't really look professional, to be honest. This one does. There are some inconsistencies in the way they present their game, in my opinion. Look, there's some decent graphics and there's really weird, unprofessional font. Maybe that's just because they translate the website in English in this really weird font way, and the rest is completely designed as intended. Okay. I don't really get what you can do. So you have these different characters, these different... I don't know, these different characters you can control, and they have these different stats, okay. Good lineup is... okay. Oh, that's way too fast. So you can maybe set up your lineup, you can purchase these different characters, and they have these different... I guess they are different races and also different classes. So they have different attributes. So typically you have your warriors, you have your tanks, you have your archers, you have your healers, and so on and so on. Okay. Oh, that's quite interesting. Where do I get more information about this game? Crypto, oh, there's a typo. I don't really like that already. I know this is like nitpicky, but I think when it comes to these kind of games, they should be professional enough to not make these major typos, even though they're not native speakers, in my opinion, especially when it comes to the title of the homepage itself. Crypto Gladiator. As a game which combines blockchain technology with traditional game elements, Crypto Gladiator provides players not only with innovative concept, but also with original fun. I always like fun. Character system. All of the characters here are made by blockchain technology, and you have 100% ownership of them. Yeah, that's... I always repeat myself when I'm saying this, but obviously most of these blockchain and crypto games, they state these... One of the major advantages obviously being that you have 100% ownership if you control the assets and they're not server side based. They are lying on the smart on the blockchain itself, on the smart contract, and therefore they are completely yours, at least if you completely control your wallet, so to speak. Yeah, that's always good. Don't really know why they need to mention that once again, but I guess it's the most important information when it comes to blockchain integration of any of these games. They are unique and cannot be copied. Okay, that's also one of the main advantages. Have been heard before. Carried away or destroyed. Each gladiator has their own information of attributes, skills, weapons, appearance, and features. Some special character combinations that appear during the game have high collection values. They also provide some scarcity. Quite important for any kind of these blockchain and crypto games, because you need investment to fund your own game, and therefore you need scarcity for players to actually wanting to invest in your game and buying these different characters. Clone system. So there's a cloning function, so you can clone two characters to get a different one. I guess the cloning function is combined to gladiator genes to create new players. So that's most of these features I have seen before, for sometimes even incorporated into the same game, not necessarily just out of different games. The battle is automatic mode, and the key to the outcome of the fight is not only strength of gladiators. See, this is an interesting idea in general, but that's where kind of the whole blockchain integration comes to a halt, to me, in my opinion, to be honest. Because if you have a battle system, make it in some kind of way interactive. So kind of leave at least a portion of the control in the hands of the players. Otherwise, as they state here, that you have an automatic mode battle. What do you look at? You just witness the battle system and they fight against each other. What's fun about that, to be honest? Yes, sure, you can kind of have a setup and you can kind of yeah, choose your lineup out of different characters, but you want to have fun during playing these games, and especially for these kind of games, if they're turn-based, I want to have complete control over my different turns and kind of want to strategize which kind of move I decide on next for the next turn, and that's where the whole idea behind turn-based games and the fun behind these turn-based games, like most popular obviously being Final Fantasy, comes from. And when they already state that the battle is completely automatic, it means that it completely runs without you being able in any kind of way, without you not being able to control any of the action that takes place or to have a certain strategy other than just choosing your lineup. And that also kind of means that you don't have full control. There will be a lot of randomization, RNG, I guess. So yeah, not too impressed so far. I don't really like automatic modes after having had a few experiences out of these different blockchain games, to be honest. But yeah, maybe they kind of come up with like a half automatic mode, semi-automatic mode, maybe where it's still turn-based and you have to pay a transaction on the blockchain for each turn. I guess that will be kind of a compromise, in my opinion. Or maybe I'm just reading the information on the screen wrong, so maybe someone who knows about Crypto Gladiator can leave a comment below and give me some, provide me some information that is more detailed. Okay, mobile is not available yet. Pre-sale, obviously the pre-sale stage is always available because they want to fund their game. They have been all sold out within the first 8 hours. Now, what's interesting that a lot of like the Western world kind of looks or views these kind of games as games that don't necessarily are as optimized, so they won't necessarily be as successful. But then you look at like the Chinese market and the Asian market as a whole, and it's so much bigger even than the Western market a lot of times, especially when it comes down to these kind of games, these kind of animated games. And a lot of times they're actually quite successful without us. I'm just kind of putting us all into together into one. But I guess a lot of times we just don't really anticipate any kind of success because we're used to a different kind of quality of games, or not necessarily just quality, just different kind of games that we enjoy. And the Asian markets really likes these kind of collectible games, and also these kind of grinding games and all these kind of cutesy stuff and so on and so on. So maybe if they state on the website that all of these different gladiators have been sold out within the first 8 hours, then maybe it has had some success. Then it also keeps me wondering why there are new gladiators that you can still... Oh no, you can actually purchase them. Look at this. Has it been done on purpose? I can't imagine that so many of these gladiators have been bought so far. That's like 20, 40, 60, 80, 160. That's like 400, almost 400 gladiators that you have to purchase via gas. I don't know what's the price on gas right now. I don't know what's like the exchange rate to Ethereum. I only think in Ethereum right now. I'm sorry, or even just in dollars or in euros. But yeah, that's quite interesting that they have been selling out so quickly. So again, maybe they have like a huge followership, or at least a comparatively big community in on the Asian market, or at least in the Chinese market, or wherever the game is from. And maybe yeah, they have been sold out really early, and the game is going to be highly successful. Maybe I'm already too late in doing a first look video on this one. But anyway, I can't really kind of tell you if there's going to be some potential in this game. The gameplay doesn't really seem too interesting. I guess if they pull it off and make it really unique in the way that you set up your lineup, maybe it's going to be interesting. But again, I'm not really a big fan of having an automatic battle, because you're just going to look at something moving without having any kind of control over it. The mobile integration might be interesting and might be something that sets this game apart from other blockchain games, I guess. Other than that, check it out. Now again, as I said before, what's really interesting about this game is that it's running on the Neo blockchain, and I completely support any of these crypto and blockchain games that kind of take a different course and they focus on a different cryptocurrency. Now, most of the games I have been doing videos on, and most of the majority of games that have been released, they run on the Ethereum blockchain. Some of them start to run on EOS as well, and they're being released on EOS, or at least they're in a really early stage and are planning to be released in at least this year on EOS. Now, there are, I think, only like 2 or 3 games I have been doing videos on that run on the Neo blockchain, which is quite interesting. For those of you who don't know, Neo being one of the main competitors of Ethereum when it comes down to a development framework, especially for decentralized apps, and that also includes games. And what's more important, that they're much bigger in the Chinese market, when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Therefore, I guess there's definitely some potential in this game. Anything that comes from Neo and has a large backing and a bigger community on the Chinese market, I can't really tell you how big it's going to be. Maybe it's going to be absolutely massive. Maybe it's just going to fail as well as some of the other games I have been doing videos on. I can't really tell. But yeah, if you're interested in any kind of Neo game, if you're interested in these kind of battle simulators, if you want to call it them, then definitely check out Crypto Gladiators or Crypto Gladiator. I'm going to post a link to the game in the video description, as I always do. I'm also going to post a link to their Telegram and maybe their Weibo. Is it Weibo or Weibo? I don't really know how to pronounce it correctly. Maybe even to their WeChat. I guess most of the people you will get to know there will be native speakers of Chinese, or the language the game is in. So I'm not really sure if you can really speak the language, if there's enough information you can get out of. But for those of you who are multilingual or just interested in interacting with people and speaking English, if it's in any kind of way possible, definitely check out their Telegram and their Weibo and WeChat. As I always say, please don't take this video as financial advice, but make sure to only invest as much Neo in this case as you can afford to lose, and also do your due diligence and your own research before you invest in this game. Now, right now, again, the pre-sale stage seems to be over, or at least all the characters remaining have been sold out. So you might want to wait for the next stage, I guess, and you will be able to buy some others, and maybe just a starting lineup that is a little bit cheaper for a little lower gas price, and therefore you can just try out the game, look for yourself if it's any kind of fun for you, and then later decide if you want to invest more. So yeah, hope you liked the video. Leave a like if you liked it, and yeah, leave a comment below what you think about these games, what you generally think about Neo as being one of the main competitors as a development framework. Do you think it has some long-term potential? Do you think it will beat Ethereum and also EOS in general? Have you played Crypto Gladiator before? Yeah, leave a comment below. I'm always really interested in your opinion. Other than that, see you next time. Bye.